Yes, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. Barry Curtin, my co-host. Baz, how are you?
Good. Fantastic.
Mate, there is an absolute plethora of superstars on this show today.
There is.
Mate, I'm telling you what, we're getting across the golf. We've got motor racing. We've got a neurophysio that you went and spoke to about concussion. The Southern Footy League, we're going to talk about the Indigenous basketball program running out of St Clair. There's plenty coming up.
It's all happening, mate.
So hopefully they can stay with us. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you about this. On the weekend, I was at the Norwood Port Adelaide game on Sunday at Alberton.
Yes.
Big Charlie Dixon was playing, and at the end of the game, he came off, and the Norwood crowd were right near the race where he came off, and he gave them the old "I can't hear you." Then he blew a kiss with the biggest smile you could ever see on a bloke's face, and the crowd, the Norwood fans were into it. It was as good as he could hope to see at a footy game. Charlie played up to it. The Norwood fans were into it. I spoke to some of the Norwood fans after. I said, "What do you think of that?" It was fantastic. We were giving it to Charlie. He was giving it back, and I thought, I walked away going, that's how I remember footy. Exactly. That's how I remember it. And you said you spoke to Charlie, and he said it was good fun as well.
Yeah, I interviewed him after the match.
We lost it a little bit the last couple of weeks with the security at the AFL. I'm watching all this stuff going, have we lost the entertainment value? Are we getting that sensitive now that if Charlie had done that in a game in the AFL, I wonder if he would have got hauled over the coals for it. Instead of going, it was entertaining. And Charlie was just great with it, and the fans were great with it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole interaction.
So did he, Phil. Yeah. So did he. When I asked him about it after the game, I interviewed him after the game because you had to interview him after the game because of what he did with the crowd, with the Norwood crowd. And he said exactly the same thing as what you just said, that he enjoys it so much, that banter, because he cops it a lot being in the goal square, he'll cop it from behind the goals all the time. He said, but they gave it to me when I first came off after about 5 minutes. And he said, I wasn't happy about coming off at all, but he said, I came off, I did the right thing, I came off. He said, and I walked straight into a wall of Norwood fans,
they were all
giving it to me right next to our box, which was, weird. He said, but at the end of the game, when the game was pretty well done, and he came off, and he gave him that. He said, some of the banter coming back, he said, it was brilliant. He said, I enjoyed it. He said, even our box enjoyed it. So, yes, we are getting a little precious. That was true SNFL footy.
Hey, just quickly, the game itself, I know Port got away at the end, but the first 3 quarters, and maybe 10 minutes into the last quarter, it was a really good game of footy.
Game.
A lot of people walked away going, Port shouldn't be playing, they're winning by too much. I went, gee, it was a really good game of footy. I thought Norwood acquitted themselves really well.
And they did.
And again, you probably wouldn't see that. You won't see a Dixon Ebert, Ollie Wines again in that environment. So it's a bit of a quirk in that game. But I thought the standard was good, the crowd was good.
Crowd, another thing you brought up, the crowd was excellent compared to, they had about 7,000 or 8,000 the week before when they played Sturt. But power members were allowed in free, I believe, on that game. But this time they weren't allowed in free. But they still got a very good crowd. There would have been 4,000 there, 4,500, no problem at all.
Well, look,
so they did really bad. That's Port Norwood, Phil.
I'm saying well done by the SANFL, well done by Port, well done by Norwood. Terrific by Charlie and the fans to have that interaction. And everybody walked away from the ground walking out going, really enjoyed it. I mean, disappointed with the margin and the loss, but they said it was a good game. Hey, listen, we've got to get over to the Bridget for the news because there is plenty coming up on the show. Hope you can stay with us. I forgot to mention, of course, Bevo will be in with some hot topics as well. So plenty coming up on the show. Stay with us.
Thanks, boys. I'm Bridget, and here's what's happening in this week's news. The Thunderbirds have lost out in an absolute thriller, playing a standout game against the West Coast Fever. In the dying seconds of the match, Fever scored a goal to put them in front, securing the win. Wing attack and co-captain Chelsea Pittman had a team high with 29 feeds and 19 goal assists. The T-Birds will enjoy coming home when they face the New South Wales Swifts on Sunday arvo. To AFL now, and how about that freakish goal from Eddie Betts? He kicked it off course from his pocket at the Adelaide Oval. It must have inspired the Crows, who beat the Tigers on Thursday by 33 points. Betts even found time to engage in some cheeky banter with Tigers young gun Sydney Stack. Check out that ridiculous goal. Meanwhile, Port Adelaide couldn't get over the line in an evenly matched Fremantle side. Although the game was goal for goal, Freo pulled ahead in the last quarter to claim an important win. Travis Boak was once again phenomenal, and Hamish Hartlett had a cracker for his first game back in over 400 days. The Power have a massive clash against the Cats tomorrow night, where they'll be looking to stay in the finals hunt. It may be the All-Stars break in the Australian Hockey League, but that hasn't stopped an adrenaline star from making an impact. Joseph Rezek took out the accuracy shooting competition in just over 19 seconds. Fellow adrenaline teammates Zach Boyle, Jesse Gordachuk and Alex Gauthier also represented Team South. However, Team North came out victorious, claiming this year's AHL star title. South Aussie swimmers have had a great night on day 4 of the World Champs Trials. Kyle Chalmers spearheaded a successful night for SA, winning the men's 100 freestyle and hitting a personal best. Tea Tree Gully swimmer Brittany Castelluzzo also produced an outstanding result for the state. She placed 3rd in the women's 200 butterfly. Congratulations to all competing athletes. Round 11 of the Premier Hockey League has been and gone, with Adelaide Hockey Club coming out the big winners. The men's team dominated Grange, piling on 10 goals to their 0 and bringing them to the equal top of the ladder alongside Seacliff. The women's team also put on a scarily good performance, defeating Grange by 9 goals. It puts them in good stead for the rest of the season. And the 2019 Bowls Australia Open was underway over the week. SA's Wayne Rudiger and Nathan Peterson made the men's pairs finals. The two went down in a close one to Central Coast's Ray Pearce and Aaron Sheriff, who took out the match 13-11. SA was also represented in both the under-18 men's and women's competitions. Both Nathan Black and Kate Argent-Bowen came runner-up in their respective matches. To golf now, the Simpson Cup is getting to the pointy end of the tournament, with Glenelg and the Grange standing out as the league's best. Glenelg played flawlessly against Royal Adelaide, while the Grange got an important win over Kooyonga. The two winners are also the front runners in the Women's Sanderson Cup. Both teams are undefeated. Played at Grange West, the Grange outclassed Royal Adelaide to climb top spot on the competition's ladder. That's all for this week. I'll see you soon.